Hi, welcome. My name is Steven Candace and I'm an author. And my podcast, DCP Talks, will be featured on Friday the 6th. And this year's topic that we are going to talk about is things that make us go home. There is a lot of things out there that is really making us think about go home. Now, you can check out any information and you can find anything out on my website, www.authorstevencandace.com. Let's enjoy our lives and everything around us, and I think everything will fall into place if I'm not mistaken. I will discuss some of my books. I have wrote 57 of my books in very many styles, including fantasy, horror, westerns, crime, romance. Not to mention 24 of those books are on Audible. This week's topic that I will be talking about is my Zorn books. Zorn, I have a trilogy of 1 through 10 books, starting with Revenge on Trabilius, ending with Zorn's final chapter, Book 10. In books 1 through 4, including number 6, are on Audible by Brad Derry. Now, this week I have a guest with me, and let me introduce to you Steve from Kewi Productions. Hey, Steve, how are you?
How's it going?
Good. It's not going too bad. Now that we got all the logistics out of the way, it took me forever to get this damn thing started, let me tell you.
I also couldn't help you notice you put a trilogy of Zorn books, and you said there were 10 of them. I'm pretty sure that's a different word. It's like quadrilogy would be 5, right?
Oh, that's probably
So,
true.
what
You
is
know
10?
what? Yeah,
Is there-
you know what? I meant the Chronicles of Zorn.
Or like the series, right? Like
It is the
a
series.
series of Zorn books. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
Okay, so then should I go back and
No,
start?
you're good. Can I swear? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Why would I? That's
I'm just scared.
But you're right. You know what? I think it's not the trilogy. You're right. It's the Chronicles of Zorn. It's on my website. The very first thing, it's going to smack you right in the face, because that is my important series. I also have 2 other series beside that. But let's talk about Steve with Kewi Productions. How's it going over there?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty.
And what do you have coming up?
So as of right now, we're working on a feature. It's our first feature, which is pretty exciting. So that's going to be the next couple of months. But I mean, other than that, really, we're just getting the podcast. So we took a little break. I have a podcast as well. Stev and Ash Talk Trash. It's a movie review podcast. So we took a little break from that.
Well, I do like some of your podcasts, though. I did listen to Dark Knight, 28 Days Later. The one I really liked, too, was The Long Walk, since it just came out.
That was a good movie, eh?
You know, The Long Walk is one of my faves because when Richard Bachman first came out, and back in the 80s, was one of his first books that I actually bought, and I didn't know it was Stephen King.
Yeah.
So when I bought the Bachman books, there were so many good stories in there. I mean, there's Running Man in there as well. But The Long Walk, I found it quite intriguing because it's just about a walk. But they made it interesting.
Right? So that was kind of my thing, too. So I read that book when I was in high school, I want to say. And I've always wanted to see it as a movie, but I've always thought, like, how do you make a bunch of kids walking interesting? Do you know what I mean? Like they did it.
That's probably why it took. That's probably why it took so long.
They crushed it.
You think about it though. It's just like how long it. One of the worst movies I think they did from that book, Different Seasons, was At Pupil. Yeah. It was a great story. Terrible movie because it was a terrible story. It was short and it really, he was, a Nazi former whatever, leader or whatever. But the thing was though, the way it just kind of went, it wasn't that exciting as all of some of his other stories. I agree with you. And when you're looking at the same book, Stand By Me.
Yeah. Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
he thought he had 3 big hits in a row, and then you screw that pooch with the fucking At Pupil, and I'm glad you didn't touch A Winter's Tale, because I thought that was a better story than At Pupil.
That's a hard one. It's a hard one to expand, right? It's like so.
Well, at this day and age, though, you could do it so easily because back then I could see it because it's just about a men's distinguished club, and then there's an accident out front.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a woman delivers a baby while she's decapitated. That's the whole thing about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so and she wasn't allowed inside.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because it was a men's only. So, I thought that was kind of intriguing because it was about the old English days. It was about how it was.
Yeah. It's definitely a good scene in a movie. You can't really expand that too much.
No, not really.
Which is probably why it's never been.
But he's done so many other ones.
Oh
and
my!
Then,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So The Long Walk's fantastic. It's the movie's great. The book's good, but the movie's really good. There's a scene. Okay, it's like this is. They make walking interesting. Okay, there's a scene where he gets like two warnings, and then he's like, one more warning, he's dead. And all of a sudden, he comes across a hill. They have to walk up like 45-degree incline.
I thought it was like a 60-degree hill. Oh, my Lord.
It is the most intense walk ever. It's just him walking up a hill, but it's just like...
People getting shot like crazy.
It's crazy. No, it's
that was a great scene. That was extremely
intense. But it's like stuff like that. It's like, it's just people walking. And it's fantastic. I don't know. It's exhilarating. I don't know. So...
well, I think that's what makes it so cool about it. You know, the same thing is that, okay, you've had a few movies in the 48-hour film fest.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And I think, okay, which one do you think is your biggest hit?
Oh, well, that's an easy one. So, okay. So, for those of you who don't know, 48-hour film fest is like this. It's like this worldwide thing, but every major city kind of has one. And it's, you write, produce, direct, and edit a movie in 48 hours, or like a short. So it's between 4 and 7 minutes. So you got 48 hours to do the whole thing. And so we've been doing that for the last couple of years. Probably did like 4 of them. We've done 4 of them at this point. And so...
But you've also won awards.
We did. So with not the last one, but the one before that, we came in 3rd place in the competition, which is pretty cool. It was like a zombie flick we did. It's called Best Served Cold. It'll be on my website, KewiProductions.com, very soon. So,
but I liked Day of the Killer Robots.
So that was when you said our like most popular, I think Day of the Killer Robots. Even though we won a couple of awards for it, we didn't win any of the big 3. But a lot of people like that one. So it's just
we won the fan favorite.
We won we did win the audience favorite.
That is big cool. When you win the fan
cool.
favorite.
That's pretty cool.
You know.
So it's like Killer Robots is a fun one. It's about it's pretty much Night of the Living Dead, but they're like robots from space, and it's supposed to take place in like the 60s, like Night of the Living Dead. It's like filmed in black and white and that.
So it is the comical side of
right?
aliens.
But the robots are like they're terrible. That's the point. Like the point is like we talk them up as this like futuristic being that's gonna kill the world, and you look at it and it's literally cardboard boxes with like highly sophisticated human machines. That's a fun one. I like Killer Robots. So that's another one that'll be on my website.
And then there should be a 48-hour film festival coming up soon.
So we just missed one. We missed one recently, and then the next one's in May. I want to say May.
Yeah. Well, I seen one that they flashed out for the horror films.
Yeah, so that's the May one.
Okay, so
it's like horror sci-fi.
Horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
Because that's an interesting tale. That's something that it seems like you like in your genre.
I like horror. And
it seems like because you crush 2 horrors.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it sounds like it's something good to do.
Even when I'm doing sci-fi, I'm really doing horror. Even realistically, like even though it's robots, it's pretty much a zombie movie. And then we end up doing a zombie movie next, where it's like, well, what do we do now? And we did something, I think, pretty different, and I don't know, people liked it. So
I think it sounded great. I think it sounds good. I always discuss the why factor because, number one, it's been here since the oldest age of time, but everybody wants to know why, and everybody wants to know why. So my thing is that, what is the hardest script you think you had to write? Because you're a screenplay writer. I'm a writer of books, so I'll tell you mine. So you go ahead.
Yeah. So that's a good question. So I've been doing short films for probably 10 years now. You know what? I don't think I've ever really had a short that was hard to write, because I usually don't write something unless I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it is and where it's going. I've written a lot of feature-length scripts that have never been produced that are hard to write. Just because it's longer, it's harder, right? I find I'm pretty good at writing something that's between 10 and 20 minutes. Even for the 48 hour, it's 4 to 7. I could write that in a night.
I think you answered my question. Because my question for me, the hardest book I ever wrote was my first 100 pages.
Oh, yeah.
Any writer that has to write has to understand that there is such a blockage of words that you think you know.
Yeah.
And you don't.
No, for sure.
And those first 100 pages, I wrote probably 5 to 7 books with only barely 100 pages.
Yeah.
And it was only because I didn't learn that structure of just pushing. I learned something from you, which you may not know, which helped my writing immensely out, was you used to tell me that you used to keep index cards and say where you're going, say how people and who they are. And what I started doing was I started keeping notes in my diary when I write books about every character, about every scene, so where I know where I'm going, and then I started making plots.
Yeah.
So for every chapter, what do you want? So I said whether it's the cougar, whether it's the storm. Now my brain is telling me I need a storm.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I can come up with 30 pages of a storm.
Yeah.
But now when I add all those chapters together, that finally taught me that.
Okay, so like, it's actually funny. So you are right. I am very like, let's say organized, but like I like to plot before I even start to write. Like, I know there are a lot of people out there who start and they don't know where the thing's going to end, and they just keep writing until they feel like it's a natural end, right? But I don't know why I just can't do it. I like
writing the ending first.
I'm kind of
that way I know where I gotta go.
Yeah, I usually it's like I come up with a plot or like a theme or an idea first, and then I figure out where that's going, and then I figure out where it began. So usually that's somewhere in the middle.
So then how do you choose your title?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't. Usually they just come to me.
I find it's weird. Okay, you said it best. I find I'm the same way. I start writing, and next thing you know, it's Under the Colorado Moons. Yeah. And by the way, Under the Colorado Moons was supposed to be a different book, which people around me knew because it was going to be a spy book.
Yeah.
Well, it turned out to be a prairie book, and instead about a family on the prairie.
Okay.
And it ended up actually working out really, really well.
Yeah.
Do you find your scripts, do you pick multiple genders to try to go down or just one?
Genres?
Yes.
You know what? I'm usually pretty focused on the genre before I even start. Like, I've read a lot of horror stuff just for fun that haven't been produced just because it's really easy. For some reason, horror comes to me really.
Yes, I find it comes naturally.
I read a lot. Like we were just talking about Stephen King. I read a lot of Stephen King growing up, stuff like that. So it just comes to me a little more naturally. But like I mean, usually I go in like, okay, I'm going to write a crime thing today. I'm going to write a comedy today. You know what I mean? Like so.
That's what I find too. What do you find the difference between horror and suspense?
Oh, I don't really find much of a difference at all.
Do you find the way it's approached to you?
You know what? So going back, sorry, let's go back a little bit because it'll answer your question. Even though there are some times where I'm writing a comedy or like something romantic, whatever. There's a lot of times where I'm writing and I like add horror elements into it and suspenseful elements. You know what I mean? Like, so I find horror and suspense are pretty hand in hand. It's pretty much the same. Like, I think any story has suspense in it, though, right? Or like thriller elements.
I think it does, and
yeah.
I think if you do it the right way, you can actually lead it to more towards horror.
Yeah.
You can lead it to less, to where it's more of a family, where it's just entices you, where it spooks you, and then eases off.
Yeah.
We watched a movie last night, which was pretty kind of strangely, but we watched the new Pet Cemetery.
Okay.
And it was just out of nowhere. We're watching it, and where the kid comes back from the dead.
Yeah.
Right? And my wife, out of nowhere, she says, her eyes look crooked. Well, no crap. She got hit by a truck, right?
Yeah.
And I start laughing because it shows how you can really bring something into something. And where it didn't look horror scary, but just the face made you feel so eerie.
See, it's funny you bring that up. I remember the original Pet Cemetery. It's actually one of my favorite. Again, we're fucking Stephen King all over the place.
I know, but
like,
of all the times.
Cool. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite.
It is one of my.
It's favorites. One of our podcasts was Pet Cemetery. So, there's a scene in that where they go to the funeral after the truck incident, right? So they go to the kid's funeral, and they like I want to say it's closed casket, but I don't know. There's a scene where like the casket falls and it opens.
Yes.
And I thought for sure they were gonna the fact that you don't see the kid's face, it's like because it's like
you're
I'm
waiting
so curious
for
what it looks like. It's like it's probably like I think the fact that you don't see it's even scarier.
Well, I don't know because you know what
you see him later
I recall the crowd at your movie fest going crazy
Oh,
because
yeah.
they thought the baby was gonna die.
So
In that third movie, Best Served Code,
Yeah.
when that monitor is going off and the zombies going down the hall,
Yeah.
and we have Becky holding the baby, everybody in the world thought that baby's gonna die. He's not gonna do it.
It doesn't help either that the guy who hosted it, he like did this spiel like before everything started, and he was like, "Just so you guys know, this is R-rated. You're gonna see some shit." So, and before that, no shit was seen. You know what I mean?
Not
So I was
until
like,
his
fuck.
movie. It was
The second
priceless.
everybody was like, I thought that baby was going down. But even like there's a scene. So we're like, okay, so for I want to say the first 2 minutes of the short, which is about 5 minutes long, a zombie's just eating a dude.
That's all it
floor.
is.
And there's like,
But it was great.
it
film.
looks great. So there's one we gave. So my sister, my older sister plays the zombie, and I gave her bacon, and I'm like, just put the bacon in your mouth and pretend it's. So she's like doing it, and it looks amazing.
It looked terrible.
And I remember we were in the theater, and a girl somewhere in the theater, I have no idea who it was, but she was just like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Oh, dude."
I remember that too. We all died.
I was like,
I was sitting next to
dude.
the actress Shay, my daughter, and it was just priceless. We both laughed like crazy.
Yeah.
That was cool. You know, we're going to change it up a little bit now. So we're going to talk about, I have to bring up my Broncos, I'm a Bronco guy. I've been a Bronco guy for many, many years. First of all, I was a Peyton Manning guy. We lived in Tennessee. We lived in Memphis, Tennessee, by the way.
Yeah.
And, it was pretty cool. In Memphis, Tennessee, let me tell you what, I was very fortunate to work at a restaurant right downtown, right across from the major hospital, and right around the corner from a lot of studios. So in my time of working at a Shoney's, I met Isaac Hayes. I met John Smith, who was Charles in North and South with Patrick Swayze. I was also extremely nice. I met B.B. King at B.B. King's. My wife and I went to Joyce Cobb's when she opened up her jazz bar. We were her first guests. She sat us right in the front row, right around her piano. What a great night. That was really cool. Places we go and places we do, you have to hold yourself and think about those great places. In Memphis, Tennessee, what is really cool, they have what's called the Duck Walk. It's called the Peabody Hotel. A limousine pulls up in front of the Peabody Hotel 3 times a day. The ducks get out. They have red carpet goes all the way to the elevator inside the hotel. They go all the way up to the 12th floor, walk on carpet, and get into a pond. True story.
Really?
It's called the Duck Walk. Look it up. My wife and I, my first wife, I should say, we signed Graceland the Wall. We took my kids there. I've been to England. I've been to many, many places, which is cool. We actually camped in North Carolina at Chimney Rock.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Nope.
Okay. Well, we camped outside. Our apartment wasn't ready, so we decided to camp for 30 days. Of all the places to pick was Chimney Rock, and guess what they were doing? They were filming Last of the Mohicans, which is a famous movie. We were there. We watched a lot of it being done, and that is where we met a gentleman who worked on a movie set and took us to go see Cross Creek, where we met Rip Torn. And what was the young lady's name? I can't remember the young lady's, but there was Haley something. We met her. It was pretty cool, though, to see different things. So, while you explore life, my daughter and I went to Broncos, and I always wanted to see the Broncos. So we went to a Monday night football game now. Monday night. Cool as shit. And we seen the Broncos play the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
And we were 18 rows up from the end zone.
Oh, shit. Okay.
We had great seats. We had time. Now, my Broncos this year were doing so freaking well. Now,
This year, yeah.
okay, now let's go ahead and bring up the most famous talk about is against the Bills. So what do you think about that one?
Okay, so let's just get it straight. I'm not a big sports person. I don't really watch much football, but I did watch that game. The only reason why I even watched that game though is because you like texted me this like, oh, we're gonna have like a $5.
Yeah, a $5 who's going to the Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
So our clan, basically, everybody put out their names. And
Yeah, so it's like, and it was probably when the playoffs just started, right? So
it's before
right.
they started.
Oh, okay, yeah, so it was right. Okay, that makes sense. And I picked Jacksonville and the Seahawks. And Jacksonville was out like first. It was like, it's like you said, they were
Which I'm really shocked at. I like Jacksonville.
Yeah, they got decimated.
But then we talking about, and then the Bills.
Yeah, so it showed, first of all, I don't really know, like I said, a whole lot about football, so I was like, oh, that shows that I don't know much because Jacksonville got decimated. So then the next game, it just so happened you were like, oh, I'm having people over to watch like the Bills game. So I was watching something and it popped up. I'm like, I'll throw it on. So I watched like the back half of it. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought the Bills were going to win. I
thought anybody's game.
Especially when they went into overtime. They go into overtime. I'm like, all right, well, it's Broncos to lose, and they fucking don't get any points that first and I was like, oh, the Bills just have to get a field goal. I was queuing up a meme to send you the second they won. It was gonna be like, oh, sucks to suck.
Oh, I've got texts like, how do you think Buffalo's gonna win?
Right.
And I'm like, let's make sure I understand something. I am a Broncos fan. I do not push nothing past Josh Allen. Amazing quarterback. He can make shit happen on a dime. He reminds me, like I said, of Peyton Manning. That's why Peyton Manning was so good. And same as Tom Brady. On the edge of a dime. That shit happens. So Josh Allen's one of those, and he's one of those loose cannons.
Okay.
That's what makes the game great.
Yeah.
But what made the game turn was him being great, trying to make a play, and he fumbles. Then he has turnovers.
Yeah.
Then they can have the controversial catching, whatever it is. No, let's face the fact. Allen, you screwed the pooch. You dropped a couple balls, and that really changed the game. And then we get to the next game against the Patriots, which was a farce, by the way.
I only heard about this. But...
this was a farce because, first of all, they lied telling Bo Nix hurt his ankle in the game, and he didn't. He hurt his ankle in the locker room celebrating. So, so talk about feeling like a fool, sitting in the box, watching his team. The best was watching Stiddy, and Lord, trust me, the boy ain't going to have a contract anywhere in the NFL. After his fumble pass, what he wanted to call it, I tell you what, man, he looked terrible. That's all I'll say. It was just about as bad. That was the turning point of the game. He turned it over. They scored. We missed 2 field goals. We should have went for a field goal. Doesn't make sense, but it happens. It's football.
And I heard would you lose by 3, you said?
We lost by 3, and that's what sucks. Missed 2 field goals. Could have won the game. Dropped that one. Lutz he's probably getting smacked around now by everybody in Denver. But it happens, and that's part of football. Now we're going to have... the New England Patriots, and we're going to have the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
I hate to say it, I don't think New England's going to have a chance in hell with this new quarterback. He's too young. And I think Seattle right now, the way they're playing, I think it's going to be a 20-7 game or a 30-7 game. I would be very extremely shocked if it's a high game. But now, this is the NFL.
Yeah.
Anything can happen on any given Sunday.
So who do you think's going to win the Seahawks?
I think Seahawks are going to take the Super Bowl.
I'm going to be honest. When you sent that text out for the poll, I just chat GBT who's going to win the Super Bowl, and it kept saying the Seahawks. So I was like, all right, I'm going to pick the Seahawks then.
Well, there is a statistic that comes out, and the NFL shows it, that the last 4 teams.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. When it comes down to the last 8 teams, whoever has the bye weeks in both sides, one of them always go to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
It's been a 50-50 draw since the beginning of time.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good statistic.
Yeah.
So to me, I knew either Broncos or Seahawks were going. I was hoping the Broncos were going to be there.
Yeah.
But it ended up where they didn't. So I guess we kind of screwed the pooch on that one. So that's my Bronco corner. I hope next year we do a little bit better. So now we're going to pick onto the comedy side of shit. Okay? I like the funny side of shit. One of my most famous people I used to love in the comedy zone was Andrew Dice Clay back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Honest, raw. He's the one who said it. The minute you start worrying about what people have to say, you screw the truth and you screw the humor out of everything.
Yeah.
Because now you're being just diplomacy.
Yeah.
I was told that many, many years ago I had to learn diplomacy when working with other managers. And I was like, why?
Yeah, really.
I just answered your question right there. Why? Okay, it's like, when like they said, the old nursery rhymes, little boy blue. Well, he had to make some money. I mean, hello. I mean, and let's be honest, men out there, women out there, let's be honest, when you jerk off with yourself, you're just saying, I love me. I mean, I love me about myself. I mean,
not wrong.
I mean, really, man. I mean, let's think about it, And life is like sex, baby. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. I promise you, okay? So don't ever take me too seriously because you know what? Life is really too short. Now, I know, like I tell my wife, okay, because she was upset today about something, right? But I tell her, I'm not arguing, baby. I'm just explaining why I'm right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what it comes down to, And then we're going to talk about things that make us go home. Right now, there's a few things that really piss me off and make me go home. Number one, how about driving out there? Right now, we're having people that never drove in the snow. We have people that don't know how to drive in the snow. We have people who are scared to drive in the snow. We have new drivers in the snow. But yet, to us drivers who are driving in the snow, it pisses us off.
Yeah.
Because you got somebody driving 20 and 30. Now, Steve here mentioned something to me before. And he says he hates it when cars pass when you're going slow.
No, well, okay. Yeah, hold up. Okay. What I hate is when you're driving and everybody's going the same speed because it's crazy outside, and there's a car that's like behind you that's like, I'm gonna get to the next lane over when there is no lane because there's so much snow, and I'm gonna blow past all these people. And the type of person that does this always has the shittiest car. So they make it maybe past one car, and then they start, and they're like almost cause an accident. It happens all the time. It drives me up the fucking wall.
Well, I can tell you, I have a new car, and I'm one of those.
Yeah, you're one of those people. I know.
But I don't go whipping because I put a 4-wheel drive on, and my ass goes zip right by your ass.
I got a big ass truck. I could fucking 4-wheel
which
drive
is true,
it.
but that's dangerous.
I've never actually had an issue.
I don't know too much
with the snow because the truck's great, right? So, but the problem with me is all the other people on the road. That's my issue, right? I could drive 50 or 60 on the snow and it'd be fine, but every other person doesn't have that.
Okay, then how do you feel about right now where I'm watching all this where somebody does something to you and you do something back, but you're in trouble, but they don't get in trouble because they're doing something to you, driving, whether it's mad, whether it's protesting. I can't figure that one out because if you think about it, how are you in trouble when you defend yourself? How are you in trouble for, getting somebody away from you? Like you see these things where these people got blowhorns in people's ears, but yet that's okay. I haven't figured that out. But yet you push them away and you're at fault.
Yeah.
That doesn't make kind of sense to me.
That's a hard one.
Okay, so here's a great question. See, I grew up in the old days. I grew up in the old days when, you know what, you did something wrong, you got your ass busted. That's it. Yeah. So what is the difference between an ass whooping or whooping your ass?
I don't know, dude.
Well, you think about it. If someone says, I want to whoop your ass,
yeah,
it's a figure of speech. But when you get an ass whooping, see now, for those of you out here, my son has never had an ass whooping.
I've never been in a fight.
He has never been, he's been a good kid. I really hate to say that. He only got in trouble once. He only got his ass whooped once when he pushed his sister down in front of me. That was it. And it was only one quick slap, and he was so shocked, he went to the car, didn't know what to say. But
you know what? I remember one time we almost got into a fist fight, me and you.
Oh, that was because you thought you were badass.
No, I was badass.
You were sitting.
No. This is.
I thought my bad. You were sitting in the chair.
I will talk it. Okay, we'll explain it. Okay, so this is what happened. Me and you were upstairs playing video games.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then somebody else, like it was my friend and my stepbrother at the time were wrestling and they broke the door and you got mad at me for it.
No, it was because of what you said.
No, I didn't say
You were being
nothing.
very smart.
I wasn't smart until you started blaming me, and I was like, all right, you want to be an asshole? I can be an asshole too. And it got to the point where you were ready to throw it out. You were ready to fight me.
By the way, the funniest part is my son is the only person that I've been to parties, we've been to events and like this, and he'll walk up behind me and go, "Dad, you're being an asshole," and I immediately change my tune.
You're really good for. You're really good
there.
for like.
I do change it, you know. Now, see, I'm one too. Okay, do you help around the house?
Of course.
So how do you feel about dirty dishes in the sink? I hate it. See, I go crazy because to me, I'm the one that like usually puts a lot of dishes in the dishwasher. And why can't you just rinse them off? Why can't you just throw them in the dishwasher? That's just, it's a pet peeve.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm usually the one doing the dishes. Like my wife isn't a big dish person, but she does other shit. She does like the laundry. She like wakes up with the kid a lot. Like, do you know what I mean? So like she does a lot. So me doing the dishes isn't that bad, right? I hate unloading the dishwasher. I don't know why. It's such like a thing for me. I won't do it.
I hate it folding clothes.
See,
I didn't mind washing them. Don't mind putting them in the dryer. I ain't touching your fucking clothes. That's how I feel.
My wife folds them. I don't know. So I've never had to do it. I went from having my mother do my laundry to my wife doing my laundry. You know what I mean? So I never really had to do it. But I do like the cooking in the house and stuff like that. But
you know, I was laughing because a friend of mine told me they had a rat in their house.
Okay.
Well, about 3 years ago, a rat came into our house through the dryer vent.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I don't know if you ever had one in your house, okay? But
Yeah.
I can tell you this much. Okay, there was a rat in my house, and all I remember is the golden rules of my house.
Yeah.
The man takes care of the outside of the house.
Okay.
The woman takes care of the inside of the house. So I made my wife go kill it, clean it, get it out. I didn't give it care. I wasn't touching it. I was ready to move out. You know, when I was working at KFC, true story, I was working at KFC when I had my first 13 restaurants. I had 7 in Hamilton.
Yeah.
When I was with the KFC, Cannon Avenue, it's closed down now. It was gone. There was a sewage underneath the store that was there for years and years. Mm. Well, the store became rat infested, and I didn't know this.
Okay.
So whenever I would go into, I only been in the store twice, by the way, out of the whole 2 years I had the place. First time I went in there, beautiful chicken, had the most tastiest chicken in the world. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, this is great. I walk around the restaurant, check it out. Everything looks clean. Go to the office. I look underneath the desk. I see holes the size of my fist. I got big fists, people. And I'm looking at like 8, 9 holes. And I'm like, what the hell are these holes? And I asked the manager, what are these holes? He goes, rats. You mean rats come out? And he goes, every night. I left the store right then and there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I only went back one other time to grade the store, okay, during their evaluation, which they failed, by the way. But I couldn't believe it that somebody would actually
just say it like
it's a normal thing, like, yeah, the rats. And I was like, oh yeah, I've never touched that restaurant again.
You know what? I remember once I lived with the guy for like a year or two. The only time I didn't live with my mother and my wife, right? Pretty much so.
Davey.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah. And I remember one time I came home and all the lights were off. Okay. So like I come home, all the lights are off. It's like maybe 10 at night because I just got off work. And there's one light on, and it was the front porch light. And the door was open. And you see this rat. It was like maybe not a rat. We'll say a mouse. It wasn't that big, but... And it was like drinking or eating out of like a dog dish. It was just kind of sitting there.
Well, it's pretty big to be a mouse.
Right? But I mean, it was like climbing up and but it was, here's the thing. There's no reason why this dog dish would be in the doorway like this. It's very odd. So I walk in and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I hear in the darkness, don't make any sudden movements. And I was like, what? And I think it was the way I said what. It startled the mouse and the mouse ran away and he was like, shit. And he turns on the light, and he has a paintball gun with a scope on it, and he's covered in war paint. He's been hunting this mouse all day. And I was like, dude, like, what are you doing? He's like, hey, I've been hunting this mouse all day. And all of a sudden, because we had a dog, too, the dog runs out, also covered in war paint. I thought it was the funniest.
What were the dog's names? Milo?
Buckwa.
Yeah, that was a big dog.
He was a big dog, yeah.
Wow, okay.
It was funny.
I got a little story for you.
What's up?
Tell everybody your version about the dock. When me and you went to the dock.
You know what's very funny about this is so the feature that we're kind of working on right now, somebody tells this story in the movie. So
I love it.
It's kind of funny, but oh, so all right. I'm trying to remember exactly how it started. I know.
Okay, let me put it all together.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on.
But back when I lived by myself,
Yeah.
okay, I just left my second wife.
Where did you live? You lived in St.
I
Catharines?
lived in Thorold.
Thorold, okay.
I lived in Thorold right there by Watson Lake, and there's a dock right there, the Thorold dock right there.
Yeah. So, okay, hold on. So you lived in a house
Yes,
with,
I lived
other,
in a
with
house.
other people.
Yes.
Like, so it wasn't like so.
No, I lived in a room.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
rented a room.
So that's important to the story. So we couldn't go back to your house. Okay, so hold on.
Yeah.
You picked me up from work, I want to say, and you're like, let's go to the bar. So we go to the bar, but like on the way to the bar.
Which was right there, by the way.
It was. But like on the way to the bar, I don't think we got out of the truck or the car. At some point, you're like, well, you know what? It'd probably be way cheaper just to go buy a bottle and go back to my place and drink.
Yes.
And we're like, yeah, fuck it, let's do that. So we go to the LCBO, we buy a bottle, go to your house.
A Southern Comfort, by the way.
We bought Southern Comfort. I don't even know why we bought Southern Comfort. I think I was like 20.
Yeah.
I had to have been. I don't. Yeah, tops. Like maybe even 19. I was just anyway. Doesn't matter. So we're driving to your house, and this is about the point where you're like, well, we really can't drink in the house because there's a lot of people in the house.
Right.
And we're loud, we're rowdy kind of people. So you're like, well, fuck it. There's this dock. It's it's the middle of summer.
It's huge.
It's a lovely dock. We'll just fucking get hammered there and then just walk back to my place to sleep. So, all right, cool.
We took the video camera too.
We took the video camera. I don't know why we took it. We just did. So we go to the dock, crush all the Southern Comfort. We crush it all. We're blasted. And I walked down. So we're like, all right, time to go back to your place. So I walked down the stairs first. So the way the stairs are, it's like you go down and then there's like a platform and you make a 180 and then you go down the other set, right?
So there's basically about 15
they're parallel.
stairs.
Yeah, right. So the 15 stairs probably 8 and 8, and they're parallel to each other, right? So I go down first. I make it to the platform, and I turn around, and you're following me, and you think there's a railing, but there isn't.
I reach for the railing.
You reach for the railing, and it's not there. So you fell down.
I fell down all the way.
And you hit the second set of stairs, and you're like, it's like, oh my God. The worst part about it was I had the camera in my hand.
It didn't film.
And I wasn't recording. I wasn't recording the camera. So.
Oh, and then we go back to my house and we have to walk down 3 or 4 stairs, something like that, to get to my room, and we fell.
Yeah.
So we make this horrendous
we end up waking everybody up
and
anyway. Yeah.
we end up, I'm dragging him into my room and shutting my door.
No, the best part about it was the next morning, you were like, man, my back hurts. Because we just went to bed. Like, it's not like you changed or anything. Like, man, my back hurts. Does it look bad? And you turned around, and the back of your shirt is, like, demolished and covered in blood. And I was just like, nah, man, you look good.
He did, too. My shirt was ripped and shredded. The funny part is there was a little old lady that actually sewed it for me.
Shut up.
Perfectly back.
Yeah, it was like a jersey or something. I remember.
Yeah, it was like a sweater with a hoodie,
Yeah. Oh, maybe
maybe that's
what it was.
And yeah, it was really cool. So, which brings us to, odor shit.
Yeah.
The older we get, the number 3 things. Boy, hangovers suck.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay up too late and try to get up in the morning, your day is ruined. The older we get, we suck. If you have kids, anybody knows sleep is a privilege. And the same as you get older, because you're doing so much, sometimes you can't sleep in the middle of the night. You go peef 3 or 4 times a night. No matter how older we get, it seems like the more we drink, because we're trying to catch up and get racing to the end.
Yeah.
And what's funny is nobody wants to get there, but everybody wants to go.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's just one of those things. And seniors out there, no matter how much we shake and dance, you're always going to dribble. Wear a pad. It makes it easier. You won't dribble your pants. People won't be looking. How do you feel about backseat drivers? I find the older we get, the less testy.
I mean, I'm a really bad backseat driver, so I can't say shit. But
Oh, man.
I'm really bad for like making noises and stuff, like or like pressing the imaginary brake. I'm really bad for that. My wife hates it, so you know what though? At the same time though, I fucking hate it when someone's telling me how to drive. I don't like it. So maybe I'm I'm a bad backseat driver, and I don't like them. It's kind of a weird.
So if no, this is just off the wall question. I'm just serious. So how many times if you do you ask for rides? Any at all? You don't usually have
ask
to.
for rides.
Yeah, you usually don't.
No,
have
never.
To.
I haven't.
Because I always wonder with people when they do. Like, should they offer gas? Should they not? Some people do. Some people don't. I'm always wondering one of those things.
When I was younger, I remember like when I needed money, I remember I asked like. Not, you know what I mean? Like, oh, if you want to ride, give me like $5. You know what I mean? Now I don't really care. I just give people
I don't
rides.
think so either. I find the older I get too, we hate the cold.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So our idea of a campfire, man, we put the TV on, put the fireplace on, put 2 chairs in front of it. We grab our little sticks, have a marshmallow, get a lighter.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're warm. We got a hot chocolate next to us with marshmallows. We're good. That's our fireplace.
For sure.
I mean, that's a smart way to do it. You think about it. I mean, I like staying warm. I can't stand the cold anymore. I used to love skiing. My son, we bought him a snowboard. It's a shame. Fireman's Park. Do you know how many times we used to go to Fireman's Park?
All the time. Yeah.
Speaking of Fireman's Park, I forgot about that until, how about our if you miss the exit on Fireman's Park, you go down a 45-degree hill. And we did it with my Bronco in the wintertime with bad tires, and we couldn't get up the hill.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that one? What happened on that one?
Funny, I just told this story, like, not 2 months ago. So you go past Fireman's Park. It's a big dip. Okay.
It's a major hill down.
And it was kind of like it is now, where it's like it was snowy and then it froze, so it's like just ice now. And we had this Bronco. It was, I mean,
4-wheel drive too, by the way.
Yeah, it was it was it was a cheap car.
It was a cheap Bronco, by the way.
Here's the thing. So
it only spelled Braun, not Cole.
You missed the turn.
We slid down the hill.
We're trying to go up, and you can't quite. So and this is happening to everybody. There's a couple of cars that are in this little. So everybody's salting and sanding and trying to get it up. So what happens?
I push in the clutch.
Yeah. So what happens is you're like, all right. So you floor it, and you make it almost to the top. It's like right there.
Man, we're giving her.
And then all of a sudden your wheels give out and you start sliding. And you're trying to keep it straight, but I think what you overcompensate at one point, you're going left and you crank it right and you do like a
oh, we're zigzagging all over the frickin' road.
And there's no like guardrails on this hill. There might be now, but at the time there wasn't. So we're looking at a ditch. We're like right about to go into a forest.
And it stops right at the edge.
So it just by luck, it was a fluke. We hit a speed sign. It was or like whatever the sign was. I feel like it was a speed sign, but it was like some sort of sign that said like when you're going down this hill, do 20 or whatever it is. But it's like we hit that sign. It's the only thing on the side of the road. It was a fluke. It's possible you're like a spectacular driver and you just did that, but. The best part is, so this Bronco was so awesome that it didn't have back seats. So a friend, we were sitting in the back, no seats,
rolling everywhere,
no seat belts, looking out the back window thinking, oh, we're about to go over this ditch. My friend starts praying, which I thought was hilarious. In retrospect, it's very funny.
Because Macintosh of all people. Right?
Yeah, he's going like, he starts praying hard. And then, so we hit the sign. We're good. We make it up the hill. We're fine. And then Ashley, my little sister, is in the front seat. And she says something along the lines of, I don't know why you guys are freaking out. That wasn't even scary. In a front seat with a seatbelt on.
Yeah, she's got the seatbelt on.
Yeah.
These boys were all over the place. It was funny, but these guys were so scared. That was one of our adventurous times, which was kind of humorous to the point. Okay, I'm going to leave you with the quote of the week as I usually do. I always write them down, so take them and use them. Okay, remember, the more you keep looking behind you, the less you're going to move forward. Life is too short. Let that shit go. Shake it off. Get rid of that shit and move forward and think about the future. Stop thinking about the past. It ain't going to get you nowhere. I promise you. Just remember, I will give you both sides of view every single week so you can play devil's advocate, or so can I. You can give me your thoughts, and that is author Stephen Candace at gmail.com. I would like to say thanks, Steve, for joining me today. That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Also, I like that quote. It's a nice quote. I actually heard a quote the other day, and I really like it. There's no such thing as perfection, just better than yesterday.
And I agree with that.
I like that quote. Thank you for having me. If you ever want to check out my shorts, they're just no budget, awesome shorts that I write and direct.
No, I think it's great because you know what? It is what it is. I like the shorts. I like the podcasts, open and straightforward. Your podcasts are good. So, and you can find those where?
www.kewiproductions.com. Or you could find the podcast on anything that, has podcasts like Apple or whatever. Stev and Ash Talk Trash movie podcast. So check it out.
Awesome. Sounds good. Now, if there's a topic or anything you want to discuss, please ask. Just send me a line here and there. Don't forget to check out my website, www.authorstephencandace.com.
I got a topic I want to talk about.
Sure.
What's with the movies on the table right here?
Oh, you know what? Last night I had this... my wife says I'm going to bed. So it's one of those nights where she goes to bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. I had that the other night too. My wife's
right.
like, yeah,
so now I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to watch?
Dude.
This is because I am such a blessed guy where I will watch movies with her. So I pick out a movie for us.
Yeah.
I just don't pick out for me. Well, you know what? I turned around and 2 great movies. First of all, if you've never seen, is Uncommon Valor.
Gene Hackman,
yeah. Patrick Swayze.
There
is so many. It is an underrated movie because it came out the exact same time as Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now took off, and Uncommon Valor didn't. But if you ever watched it, it's awesome.
It's a cool flick.
Now, the other flick I picked because it takes me back to 1978. Yes, I know. I was alive back then. 1978, I went to the drive-in, was the first time I seen The Warriors. And if you have not seen The Warriors, baby, you got to see The Warriors.
Warriors is cool.
The funniest thing is the coolest character in the whole freaking movie dies within the first 10 movies. He's so clear, so badass.
It's funny. There's a lot of... And he's so cool that there's a lot of characters in... like later movies, and you're like, oh, I could draw a line to that character. He's so cool. Like can you do
Oh, that guy, yeah. That's Michael Beck.
Yeah. So that's what
amazing. I was talking about the Warriors.
You're talking about Cleon. You're talking about
the Warriors leader.
He is cool. He is actually
was cool. Then he dies. Like he gets killed.
I was talking about Cyrus. He's the
Cyrus was the bad.
He's the bad. Or like the baseball fury. So okay, for anybody who's never seen the Warriors, let's talk about it for a second.
All right, the Warriors.
What it's about is it takes place in New York, and what it is all the street gangs. So every neighborhood has their own street gang that runs it, right? So they have a meeting where they're trying to unite all of the street gangs.
Yeah, into Cyrus from the Rips.
Yeah, who's the biggest.
Biggest gang.
He's the biggest street gang. He wants to unite all of them under one umbrella. And the whole thing is his idea is there are more of us than there are police officers.
Right, so we could run the city. We got the streets. We got the supplies. Nobody moves nothing without their say so, which makes a lot of sense.
So what they do is they have I think they have 9 of each gang.
9 members of each gang of affiliates.
Yes,
they call them affiliates.
So and what ends up happening is it's the first 15, 20 minutes. Not even. I think it's the first 10 minutes. Not really spoiler, but Cyrus is assassinated during this meeting by a group called the Rogues, and the Rogues frame
the Warriors.
They're like, it was the Warriors.
Because the Warrior guy sees him do it.
Yes. So that's it. He spots them. So he says it was the Warriors to throw the trail of him. So what it's about is these 9 guys, technically 8 because the guy dies pretty much right off the bat,
have to get from New York City.
They have to get from Central Park, I believe,
right,
to
Central Park to Coney Island.
And to do that, they have to walk through all of these gang territories, and it's just them running into gang after gang after gang that are all trying to kill them because of they killed Cyrus.
Right.
And it's
because they get a bad rap. Now the thing is this: if anybody doesn't know kind of geography about it, New York City, right at Central Park, it's about 90 miles from Coney Island. So they had to take so many different subways.
Yeah.
And it was going to take 3 or 4 hours just on the subways flying. So it tells you how far it was.
Yeah, but then so the first one they get on, the tracks are blocked.
Yeah, then they set it on fire to make
them
him get off.
Yeah. So,
oh yeah, then they have to bounce, so they have to fight, which is a super shitty gang.
Oh, you're talking about the punks?
Yeah,
the roller skates.
No, not the roller skates.
Because they're
that
cool.
was the
cool
that shit. What's the orphans?
Oh, the orphans.
So they had to fight the orphans first, right? They get through the orphans and they think everything's cool. Then they have to meet the baseball furies.
If here's the thing, even if you've never seen this movie or even heard of this movie, you've seen the baseball furies.
And you just look it up, and you've seen everybody have seen the baseball furies.
They're cool.
They're the coolest. They're the coolest gang in the whole thing.
On paper, it sounds so silly. They're a gang that dress up in baseball outfits with face paint, almost like you would if you were going to a football game or like a baseball game or something. And then they all have like long 70s hair, like I don't know, like fucking,
in the 70s is what we had.
And then
just past your shoulder.
Yeah. And then they have like baseball caps. And it's like they almost look like Kiss, like their face paint. It's almost like Kiss.
Really?
And they all look like that.
And this was before Kiss came out, by the way.
Okay, I didn't even know that actually.
Yes.
And then I don't think they speak. Maybe the one guy does speak, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But like they barely speak. They're very like mysterious. And they're very dangerous. It's very cool. I don't know. It's a cool movie. They're a cool character.
It's very good, you know what? And then they have to fight their way all the way back to Coney Island, which they do, by the way. So it's kind of a pretty cool movie. It's one of my faves. Matter of fact, I think I bought a copy for him.
You did?
It was just one of those things. Same as Uncommon Valor. My best friend Mike. My Mike it's his best movie too as well. So I got him a copy. I do guys give out a shout out to my friends out there, whoever listening there. You know, we got Kimmy, Corey, if you guys are listening, everybody else, Shay, Ash. Hey, giddy up, holla.
Oh yeah.
I always got to say holla to everybody. So like I said, we will chat soon and have a great day, and looking forward to our next adventure next Friday, which is the 13th, by the way. So DCP Talks is out.
Peace.
Peace.